Welcome to the Bucket List Buster Travel Show. Your Bucket List Buster Travel Show helps you make your bucket list dreams come true. Host Karen Duncan spent decades running the travel business. She, along with other industry experts, share their knowledge, travel stories, and wisdom about how to travel, where to travel, and how to have a stress-free adventure. Tune in, give yourself permission to focus on yourself, create lifelong memories with families and friends, and finally learn to relax, rejuvenate, and reconnect. And here's the host of your show, Karen Duncan.
Aloha, buenos dias, ni hao, yahate, bula, guten tag, bonjour, jambo, boa tarde, everything's Irie, and good afternoon. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Hello out there in Bucket List Land. Karen Duncan here, your host of your Bucket List Buster. I know I've been away, and I cannot wait to tell you about the exciting trip that we took, but it won't be this week because I had planned this fantastic interview. I interviewed one of the most fascinating persons that I've talked to in the years that I've been doing podcasting. We have an exciting speaker today, Mr. Dale Gebhardt, who is the world voyager on board the Arios, his sailboat that he started in Canada, and he's traveling the world by sailboat. He is docked here in Panama at the Vista Mar Marina, where I live. I don't live at the marina, but I live in Vista Mar. And it is so fascinating talking to him. So today's show is called Life is Your Bucket List. And we are going to talk to Dale about his adventures on board the Arios, living and being earthly responsible. He's very passionate about us taking care of the environment and taking care of the earth, and you're gonna hear that in his interview. It's so exciting. So what's living a bucket list life? Is it goal setting? Is it just doing what makes you happy? Living my best life has become my motto. Is it traveling the world by sailboat, which is what Dale is going to talk about today? Is it about having a life plan? You know, and then talking about our responsibilities as earthlings to deal with that. This show is just going to be super fantastic. We also are going to talk about some travel trends. I came across this really nice blog called MyLife's a Movie. And we're talking about that and travel trends. Then, of course, we've got some weekly news coming up. It's some stuff been going on in the travel business that I think that you should know about. Specifically, homesharing is one of them. And then we have some of the worst airports for this weekend because it's Memorial Day in the United States this weekend. People are leaving today, but we've got some of the worst airlines to be going through during holidays, period. Not just Memorial Day, but typically it tends to be the case for holidays as well. And so I want to make sure that you're aware of those and just give you some updates on what's going on. It's going to be fun, really, really, really fun. So this is Karen Duncan, your Bucket List Buster again, and I want to make sure that you know a great announcement. While I was away, we were accepted by our iHeartRadio, so you will now be able to find the podcast on iHeartRadio, as well as Spreaker.com, iTunes, and Spotify. Hey, folks, we are out there, and you can hear us in all different places of the world. You can hear us in different methods online. We're going to have an app really soon. I'll tell you about that as soon as I get it all set up. But we'll have your Bucket List Buster app while I'm talking about people from all over the world, let's talk about, or let's say hello to my listeners. I really like doing this because I appreciate you. So where are people listening to your Bucket List Buster? The large majority are coming from the United States. Then we have Panama, Canada, New Zealand, Guatemala, India, Norway, Germany, United Kingdom, and Mexico. That is huge, folks. I'm just a little old girl sitting over here in Panama, enjoying myself, living in the warm by the beach. And I've got people listening to me from all over the world. I'm really excited about that. So where are you? Hey there, Mountain View, California, West Lynn, Oregon, Panama City, Panama, Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Washington, Washington, D.C., Honolulu, Hawaii. What's up, Hawaii? Princeton, Canada, Happy Valley, Oregon, and Durham, Maryland. Love it. Absolutely love it. I appreciate you guys. And please like me and subscribe so that you know when new episodes are coming up. And also follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and soon to be YouTube. I'm going to post some of my videos on YouTube that I took while I was away. So with that, let's take a quick break and then let's get on with the show. Karen Duncan here, your Bucket List Buster. And I'm so excited to be back today. See you in a minute.
If you like the sound of vacationing at a 5-star luxury included resort, Sandals has a symphony of romantic indulgences just for you. Sandals hits all the right notes for two people in love. Miles of pristine beaches harmonize with beautiful turquoise seas. Love Nest Suites are orchestrated with private plunge pools and tranquility soaking tubs for two. The tempo increases with unlimited land and water sports, including scuba diving and golf. Your taste buds are treated to a rhapsody of 5-star global gourmet dining at up to 16 world-class restaurants, including endless pours of premium spirits and wine, music to anyone's ears. From live entertainment to taxes, tips, and transfers, it's all included, all unlimited, and only at Sandals, the world's only 5-star luxury included resorts, voted world's best 21 years in a row.
To book your Sandals vacations, contact Peaks Cruises and Tours at peakscruisestours.com. Welcome back to your Bucket List Buster. Karen Duncan here, live from Panama. So, let me just, for folks that are just now listening to me for the first time, I'm in Panama, San Carlos, Panama, the country, Central America. Love it here, retired here about a year ago. And sometimes we have some challenges because I'm recording live sometimes. Sometimes I have recorded interviews. And because of that, our situation is not very controlled all the time. So I'm not one of these professional podcasters that sits in a studio and everything is just perfectly wonderful. I'm somebody out here beating the streets, talking to real live people all the time, travel professionals from the industry from all over the world. So sometimes it's a little, things don't sound quite right. So I want to apologize in advance. So for instance, when Dale and I were talking, there were people around the marina that were coming in and out. And sometimes it's a little noisy. Sometimes it's a little inconsistent because when it's really noisy, I try to splice it and make it so that it's not so disruptive for you, the listener. So I hope you understand, but I hope you also appreciate that this is me trying to be real with you, just trying to be Karen, So anyway, so let's talk about what's going on with travel trends. So I ran across this blog called MyLife's a Movie. And I wanted to talk about bucket list trends specifically. And some of the things that are on this list, it's really kind of funny. I'm always a little bit ahead of the curve, and I wish I could find a way to capitalize on that. But I haven't found that out. But if you keep listening to me, you'll recognize eventually that I am ahead of the curve on a lot of things. But anyway, micro trips is one of the first things that's on the bucket list trends for 2019. So what's a micro trip? A micro trip is taking short trips. I called them staycations years ago before that became a popular term. I'm going to start, I think I've decided I'm going to start copywriting and these sayings that I come up with, because then I can make some money off of them. But anyway, so micro trips is taking small trips. Everybody needs to relax, rejuvenate, and reconnect. And if you can't take a long vacation, this was the first time I'd taken a vacation that was 20 plus days. That's the longest I've ever done. But I was really good when I had kids at home, Mitchell and I, about taking staycations or micro trips. You have got to let your mind let go sometimes. We're so connected. We are so connected. I don't know how often I can emphasize that. And one of the reasons I didn't do any podcasting while I was away, and I said I was going to, was because once I got there and I really started getting into it, it was like I'm actually missing everything I came to see and do, because I'm behind the computer, I'm behind the camera, and I'm behind the microphone. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't. When you think about the fact that you're taking a bucket list trip, a trip that you've been dreaming about all your life, if you are doing too many things at one time, working, texting, social media, podcasting, YouTubing, or whatever the case may be, you're still working. You're not actually getting involved in the destination, in the trip, in enjoying the moment, being present in the moment. So I decided to be present in the moment, and then I could talk about it afterwards. So that's what I did. So micro trips gives you the opportunity to relax, rejuvenate, reconnect. Short trips, 2, 3, 4 days, multiples. If you can give yourself that over a course of a year, you will feel so much better, I promise. The other is sustainable tourism. I created a class for Austin Community College years ago for sustainable tourism. I'm very passionate about sustainable tourism, and I struggle with being a commercialized travel agent that works with companies that I feel are not sustainable to a destination and in the environment. We've talked about one of the big cruise lines coming up that is going to find out their fate about dumping waste in the waters of Alaska. Unacceptable. But being sustainable as a tourist is important to me. And what does that mean? That means when you go on these trips, whether it's with a large commercial company or a very small personal trip that you've put together, make sure that you are supporting the local economy. What does that mean? When you take these trips on cruises and you go to a destination, don't just always do the excursions that the cruise ships offer you on the ship. I want you to get out there, meet the locals, go to their local shops and stores, and find out what's made locally there. Purchase something made locally in that destination. Eat at the local restaurants, not recommended by a large entity that it has a financial stake in them. Be respectful of the local people. Be respectful of their country. Be respectful of their culture. There's just a lot of things you can do to be sustainable. Curated trips experiences is another one. While traveling, explore your passions through your bucket list travel. So what is it that you've dreamed of doing? Can you create a trip around something that you're passionate about? That is one of the trends in bucket list travel right now. Is creating a trip around something you're interested in.